Here we are in a coffee plantation. This coffee plantation is managed under the agroforestry system. We have the coffee here, but along the edges, we have cassava planted to provide an alternative source of food. It is also intercropped with banana, which is a source of food, but also a source of additional income to the farmer. In the same plantation, there are also fruit trees, like pawpaws here. They provide an alternative source of food, but also extra income to the farmer. There are also shade trees like that one, and shade trees like the ficus. These are very good in maintaining the fertility of the soil. When their leaves fall down, they rot. They provide extra nutrients to the soil. The bananas too, when they are pruned, their leaves provide the first hand mulch to the coffee. In Uganda, coffee does not have many diseases of economic importance. And if the soil fertility is maintained right and moisture stress is avoided, ensuring that you have the right amount of water in the soil all the time. And one way of doing it is by using this mulch. You mulch the soil so that it doesn't lose a lot of water when it shines. And when it rains, most of the water goes down and there's no soil erosion. Use of cultural practices and the recommended organic practices can keep coffee pest-free and disease-free. This is one symptom. Splitting of the pseudostem. Because they keep hatching out, they make the vessels overstretched. You can have a look at the symptoms of the banana weevil. It makes tunnels in the comb and in the pseudostem. And they move through and they form leaves so that mature weevils will tunnel their way out. That's why there are so many. So what we do after harvesting, we trap them. We make this flat. And when it is flat, we can cut a piece of the banana leaf or part of the pseudostem like this to cover where you cut a freshly cut comb. And when you cover like this, because weevils like a place that is cool, at night they'll come and collect here. So the following day or the second day, when you come and open, you can find the weevils and kill them off. But make sure that you don't spend more than 3 days, because after 3 days, they will have laid more eggs, and the eggs hatch within 5 days and infect more of the comb.
Just leave that and come back later and just check it out. This is now Monday. We made the heaps on Thursday, so they should have heated up nicely over the weekend. And over here I've put in just an old fence standard made of metal, just as a thermometer. So if we pull this out and we feel it, you can see the smoke coming. Yes, this is nice and warm now. So the heap is working. I was a bit afraid that it might be too hot, but in fact it's very easy to hold. It's just about blood warmth, which is ideal. If it was really hot and too hot to hold, then I would be putting on water. And if the water doesn't slow it down, then we might have to remake the heap and put more grass into it to slow it down. But this is ideal. It's just as it should be. And we'll put it back. So it goes right into the heart of the heap, and that tells us we can check it at the different levels, how it is at the heart, how it is in the middle and near the top.
Certification is a marketing tool. You only get it when you're going to use it. It's not like every farmer should be certified simply for the sake of it. So what we do, we organize smallholder farmers to be certified when they have access to a market that requires certification. For our local market here, we do what we call participatory guarantee system, whereby the farmers are registered and they have codes, and we can follow them up to see that they're following organic rules and guidelines. Organic farming can be very profitable, because out of these beds, you can be earning maybe about 12,000 shillings per week. And if you multiply that by 4, that's about 48,000 out of only these 4 of these beds. So you can see it's more or less comparable to somebody who is working for a salary at a local.
We first go and visit and see how he's practicing, see how he's planting his products. Then you also want to find out if the farmer is growing the crops himself, because we don't work with middlemen, we work with the farmers directly. But then after, we continue doing spot checks, abrupt visits to the farmers to ensure the quality.
Okay, that's fine. Now I would like to have a look at the boundaries of your field,
Okay.
just to see exactly what neighbors your certified field.
Okay.
So I think we should go to the boundaries. But what would you do if your neighbor used an agrochemical that maybe is not permitted in the project? What would you do as a certified farmer?
Okay, usually I can create a buffer zone. I can plant a hedge. I create a buffer zone, at least so that not allow the chemicals to come from one end to the other.
For a grower group, costs will mainly be determined by the number of farmers, the scatter of farmers in the project. If farmers are in one area, then it takes a shorter time for the inspector to move from one farm to another. It's also determined by the risk assessment in the area. Your farmers could be practicing organic, but their neighbors could be spraying, so posing a risk to the certified farms. So the risk factor increases, and so the number of farmers to be visited also increases.
Here we're trying to dig a soil profile to show the different layers of the soil. The topsoil, the subsoil, and a lower layer of soil that we expect to be harder than the topsoil and the subsoil. We'll take soil from all the 3 layers. Start from down, from the lower layer to the subsoil and then part of this topsoil, and this is what you'd put in a bag for a soil sample.
Fold it over. Right, so having taken our soil sample and labelled it carefully, and making sure that our records are separately kept, we can take that to the laboratory and make sure that it gets in for analysis. It'll take a few weeks before they have taken it through all the processes. Allocate a sample number. They'll look at the acidity through pH and acid saturation. They'll look at what minerals are in the soil: phosphorus, potassium, magnesium, calcium, aluminium, and they will then have a computer-generated system that will give all the results on a spreadsheet, and that spreadsheet then is emailed to me or posted to the farmer. In general, I think most small-scale farmers will not be able to interpret their own soil analysis result, but that is where the civil society organizations and the Agricultural Extension Service should come in. This is the bridge between technology and applied agriculture, and it is really important that science should serve the needs of small-scale farmers.